Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about Dazzler. But first thing I want to do is I want to give a big shout out to Victorious Gaming. I do have the link to his YouTube channel in the description. Please check him out, man. He's got a lot of great videos. He's put a lot of heart and work into those Marvel Future Fight videos, so please check him out. So let's get to talking about this girl, Dazzler. Now, first things first, Dazzler looks pretty freaking sweet. Boy, oh boy. Look at the reflection of the bracelets when I'm moving her around. Freaking disco fever if I ever saw it. Got the bell bottoms going on. It's freaking sweet. I do like the character model. I think she's pretty cool looking. But how good is she? Well, I can tell you she's pretty much just going to be a really good support for mutants. That's pretty much going to be her place in the game. And for being an X-Gene sub, you know, at the time of this recording, I have no idea how they're going to release her. If they're going to give us free bios, maybe in a Future Pass event, who knows? I hope they do, but that's pretty much what she's going to be. She's a pretty strong character. She's definitely not weak, but more than anything, Dazzler's just fun. She's just a really fun character to play with some really beautiful animations to boot. She's definitely not weak by any means, but compared to a lot of other characters, she just isn't on their level, and that's why I say she's probably just going to be a support. And she is one hell of a support for mutant allies. So let's talk about that. So my Dazzler has 24,000 energy attack. She has a max attack speed, 20 crit rate. That is horrible. She has 179 critical damage. She has 41% ignore defense, and she has max kill cooldown. Now, keep in mind, you know, when you're watching this run, having 41% ignore defense is terrible. You're not going to be doing near as much damage if that isn't maxed out. That crit rate is god awful. 20%. That means the amount of crit hits you're going to do are going to be very little, which isn't good at all for your damage. She is level 70. All of her gears are 25. She has no Urus. Let's take a look at this girl. So this is why I think she's just really mainly going to be a support. Applies to mutant allies, ignore target dodge rate by 70%. This is great. Any mutant you put her with, she's going to automatically give them 70% ignore dodge, which means against Corvus and Quicksilver, she's going to be freaking amazing support to have with a mutant because she's going to give ignore dodge. That means you can use other strikers that offer damage to superheroes or supervillains depending on which world boss you're facing, which adds to your damage. That's terrific. And not only that, but then she offers increased damage dealt to boss types by 65%, which means pretty much everything that she faces, she's going to give 65% increase to boss types, which is everybody. So I know this works against world boss of any type, whether they're hero or supervillain. For one skill, 8% chance of missing attack by half a second. 2 skill, same thing. 3rd skill, got a little heal, got a stun, increase all attack and defense by 35%, critical rate by 35%. Now, so my crit rate's at 20%. It's actually going to be at 55% when this buff is up. This is on a 15-second cooldown. It says it only lasts for 2 seconds, but it actually refreshes during the duration of the skill for the most part. While there's a little circle that appears, like a dancing circle, if you will, and as long as that's up, this keeps refreshing and keeps giving her that buff, but there's a caveat to it. As long as you're within the circle, if you step out of it, you lose that buff. You lose all the damage, and you'll lose some other things too, like animations, and we'll talk about that. Her 4th skill, 35% increase of all attack for 10 seconds, has a silence, then 80% chance of missing attack. And then her 5th skill gives her 5 seconds of invincibility, 100% chance of missing attack, and a 2-second silence. Great skill. Invincibility is really nice, but it can be debuffed. So if you take her against Thanos and he throws his blue balls at her, she's pretty much dead. She's going to die instantly. She's a pretty fragile character. She can't really take much damage, but she's not supposed to be durable. I mean, she's just not supposed to be that way, so it fits her character. Her passive, immunity, silence, and blind. Yep, just applies self. And then her leadership crit rate increased by 6%. Is kind of whatever. Now let's take a look at this. This is really interesting. Her skills. Let's check this out. And by the way, her animations are gorgeous. And this is what I mean by she's just really damn fun to play. You hit the third skill, and as long as you stay in that skill, you'll get the buff. See, you step out of it, the buff is gone. You step in it, the buff is there. You step out of it, the buff is gone. You step in it, the buff is back. So you got to make sure you're in the circle to get the buff. But not only that, but you also want to stay in the circle while you're fighting so you can do more damage. Not only because you get the buff, but because your animations are going to create some extra effects that are going to deal more hits. So it's vital that when you do this skill, you stay in this circle. You keep your opponent in this circle. By the way, I love that disco ball up at the top. That is freaking cool. But you want to keep your opponents in the circle. And that makes her tricky to play. However, it makes her fun to play. Also, if you notice, when we hit the third skill, look at her heal. Look at her. She constantly heals. The heal is refreshing. Look at that. Look at that. That is freaking amazing. Wow. So she's got a refreshing heal, a refreshing attack buff. So she's actually really great. As long as you keep her in that circle, she's going to keep healing. She does have the 5-second immunity on, or 5-second invincibility on the 5th skill, and she has a long iframe on the 4th skill. So this is how I'm playing her. What I do is I hit the 3rd skill first. It doesn't trigger the proc unless you let that skill play out. You just want to get your buff. And then I hit the 5th skill. Try to get the damage proc on the 5th skill. Now, you're going to stay in a circle. You're still going to keep getting that heal. And when you have about 1 second left on your proc, then you're going to hit the 4th skill. You're going to let the 4th skill play all the way out. And then you're going to hit the 5. Now, you didn't get to see it just now. And by the way, watch this. Look at this 5th skill. Now look at how that looks. Now watch this. Now let's hit the 5th skill. Do you see the 3 summons that she has now? Look at that. No, 4 summons. She has 4 summons that come out. And they shoot a little, you know, like explode kind of thing with a light ray coming out of them. So she does way more damage as long as she's in the circle. And look at the 4th skill. Okay, you see just 1 ray coming out. Now watch this. We'll hit the 3rd skill. We'll hit the 4 now. Now look at this. Look at that. So 4 orbs show up and they shoot a light rays out of them, and that thing lasts forever. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to combine the 4th and the 5th skill into your damage proc. With a rage, obviously she's going to be better, but I can tell you, you can play with a proc. It is tricky, but because her cooldowns are low enough, you can keep the proc where it belongs for the most part. Sometimes it gets off, but man, she is fun. Now let's look at the 2nd skill. Okay, we'll do the 3rd skill. See the 3rd skill? Now, or the 2nd skill, now it's got giant orbs doing more damage, similar to Jubilee. We'll wait for this thing to disappear. Well, actually, we'll just hit the 1 out here. Okay, now we'll hit the 3rd skill. And we'll hit the 1 again. Now look, now she's got little orbs showing up. So her skills change after you do the 3rd skill, but you have to be inside the circle to keep the buffs and to keep the skills. We step out of here. Oh, well, wait a minute. Well, I guess it stays. Let me try that again. Okay, we'll run over here. Okay. So I guess you can still keep doing your skills once you get out of it, but you lose the attack buff. Yeah, okay. That's just the attack buff from the 4th skill. Okay. So that's not as bad, but you still want to stay in the circle because you want that giant attack buff that she's going to be giving you. Really cool character. I really like the design of this character. And like I said, you stay in that circle, you're going to keep getting that 35% all attack and that 35% crit rate. So it's vital to stay in that thing when you're fighting with her. It makes her really fun. I do have a stage 10 Power Bang Rehawk set on her, but remember, her ignore defense is only a little bit above 40%. It's not like she's built super well. She does have a CTP of energy, so I am running with a proc. And she has max ignore dodge. She has 34% critical damage, and we have 180% damage proc. So not even a max 200% damage proc. And of course, no uniform. So let's take her into World Boss. And we're going to go against Cull. And stage 35 is the max that I have. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to use She-Hulk for the 65% damage out to male types. And we're just going to use that, and that's it. We will get the damage buff from her passive, but War Tiger here isn't going to offer anything. Now stage 35, the only striker we're going to use is Anti-Venom. I just like having Anti-Venom in there, but you really don't need him because you get a constant heal as long as you stay in the circle from the third skill. It's pretty funny, man. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start with the 3 and then go into the 5. And there's the proc. Okay, now we want to stay in here. Keep getting that heal. Then we're going to hit the 4. Going to rise up, the orbs show up, then hit the 5. Now look at that. Now, you tell me, I mean, that's not bad. Okay, now we're kind of getting out of the circle. Our proc has got off, okay? So we're going to run around. We're going to run around. We're going to get back in our circle. We're going to get the proc back on the 5th skill here. There we go. Okay, now we want to stay in there. Come on, proc. Don't trigger early, you bastard. All right, here we go. I mean, she's tricky. She's tricky. There we go. Now the proc's getting off again, so we need to go back on the 5th skill. This really isn't one of the better runs. When I was practicing earlier, it was actually going a little bit smoother, but I'm talking as I'm playing. There we go. There we go. That was a nice one. Okay. There we go. Come on. I mean, it's not bad. We're probably gonna, our proc's probably gonna get off right now. No, it didn't. Cool. Okay, bring up our circle, get our heals. And we're gonna go back on the 5th skill here. There we go. All right. 1 second left on the proc, and then go back in 5th skill. That's all right. We took some damage. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. I mean, she is fun, man. She is so fun to play. Oh, I'm having a ball. This is so cool. It is tricky. I mean, you're trying to stay in this freaking circle to keep that attack buff. But you can see she is definitely not weak. She is not weak by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, she's got some power. She's got some power. Damn fun character to play. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Get back in here. All right, there's my proc. Okay, now we're going to keep him in here. There we go. Or use our... There we go. All right, we took a lot of damage there. No big deal. We'll stand over here. Okay, we're going to use our 5th skill. Once that proc gets off, you really want to start your rotation back over and start with that 5th skill. Yeah. Okay, we're out of the circle, so we lost our buff. Okay, the proc didn't even trigger. We're going to get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. There we go. All right, here we go. All right, so Pokey's jumping around now. Okay, run over here. Run over here. Come on, girl. Okay, let's stay in here. Now our proc's probably gonna get off. Oh, no it didn't. Now we took a crap ton of damage there. But she is fast too. Man, this girl can run. Woo! And because of this constant heal, she really can take a hell of a lot of damage. It's pretty cool. Whoa, and look at how fast she runs. Look at this. Man, she can scoot. I'm loving it, guys. I'm loving it. She is fun. She is fun. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, punk. Woo! Come on, punk. Oh, yeah. And the best thing about this girl is she doesn't rely on all defense down. I mean, it's not bad, you know, one support, nothing else. I mean, I know it's only stage 35, but we're not using any strikers. There's no all defense down. It's not bad. She's a quality character. She's fun. That's the whole thing about Dazzler. I think she's damn fun, but I really do think she's just mainly going to be a support character. If you have an extra support, maybe she would have been doing stage, I don't know, maybe stage 40. Maybe if you're lucky, she'd have done maybe stage 40. Maybe. So it's not a character you're going to bring in here to do stage 50s and things like that. I mean, she's going to do it if you build her up, put some Urus on her, deck her up a little bit. But I really think she's just going to be mainly a very good support character for mutants. But I still think she's damn fun. Is she worth a paywall? Is she worth the price of admission? Well, that's up to you. I'm going to get her, obviously. But I do like her. I do think she's super freaking fun, and I really enjoy playing her. So let me know what you think about Dazzler, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.